All right, guys, bear with me on this one because oftentimes the best arguments that I make usually comes from a negative energy. Okay. It's usually because I saw something and I was kind of triggered by it, or I'm just so annoyed by the current information that's out there that I want to do a video to really start setting the record straight. Okay. So recently I watched a bunch of videos that is all about, the truth about reselling, the truth about business, the truth about e-commerce and stuff. Now, as a 20+ year private labeler, I want to come out here and tell you the real truth about how business is done and done the proper way, the way that actually works. That if I had to start it all over, I wouldn't change a thing. And this is exactly what I would do if I was a young man again. Okay, so the idea is that with reselling, you're starting from scratch every single time because you're always chasing the next sale, the next sale, the next sale. It is literally no different than door dashing, except with door dashing, the only difference is that I'm gonna get tipped better or I'm gonna get tipped worse. That's about the only discrepancy. But when you think about what reselling is, it might sell and then it might not sell. The risk is even higher. So now you're better off just door dashing. Okay. What you're supposed to do is make sure that whatever item that it is that you're trying to sell, you're always able to get more of it. You want it to be a replenishable item, okay? So in order to do that, most likely you'll have to build up some kind of a vendor contact so that you could get it wholesale, so that you could get 50 to 100 units of something whenever you need it. Now, in order to get into that, oftentimes they're going to ask you for a minimum order quantity. Hey, you got to take at least 20 pieces. You got to take at least 50, you got to take at least 200 pieces, depending on what your vendor contact is. So this is the pushback that I'm going to get from a lot of people. Yeah, but that's higher upfront costs and that's a higher level barrier entry, et cetera, et cetera. Right, exactly. That's what business is. So what? Do it. That is exactly what the competitive advantage is. That these people who are crying about like how, yeah, but there's higher upfront costs or whatever. Exactly. 9 out of 10 people are like that. So the few people like myself get to do this without worrying about competition from them. While everybody else who's just like, oh, all you need is like 10 or 50 bucks in your pocket to just go out and thrift. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then you're all doing it and you're all jumped into the same pool. That's exactly the reason why I urge people, look, this is where I'm at, and this is why you're better off doing this. Okay, so the question is, couldn't you lose your shirt with what you're doing? Couldn't you like invest in 200 units and then get stuck with it? Yes, absolutely. This is why, number one, you're supposed to do a lot of research before you pull the trigger on something. So once you've researched what the item is, do people want it? What are the keywords? What are the other sellers doing? What do their numbers roughly look like? What is the market value currently going for at this time? Should I get into this item or not? Then I absolutely have to try. So ultimately, at the end of the day, even with all the research that's done, can you still lose your shirt on this? Yes, absolutely. And to that, the truth is, so what? So freaking what? Take it, because that's exactly what business is all about. Now, here's where people don't understand, okay? So for my first item, I had to shell out about $10,000 as a young man. Don't party, don't try to upgrade to the latest cell phone, don't, just don't spend your money at all, okay? Do your best to save up as much as you can. Work extra hours, whatever it costs to save up your first capital for your first bankroll. And if I lost it, so what? Man up, do it again, do it again, do it again. It doesn't matter even if I lost $100,000. And the reason is because once you find the item that actually sticks, that actually takes off, you do it over and over again. And that item will sell for you for years to come. That's why it's worth it at the end. So if you dumped in, $2,000, $5,000 and it didn't work, don't worry about it. That's the cost of doing business. That's what happens when you get stuck with the item. That's what happens because you didn't research enough. But usually when you research enough, highly unlikely that this is going to happen. And for the items that do stick, you're going to be able to sell it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to come. You will well make your money back. And what you're doing in this e-commerce space, once you have that pipeline set up, is that there is automation involved. that all you have to worry about is just the shipping. By the time you do things like Amazon FBA, you don't even worry about the shipping part anymore. And then you just move on to the next item, the next item, the next item. Once these things begin to stack, you'll realize what a joke $10,000, $5,000, $15,000 upfront investment is. When you think about exactly what the upfront investment is of a food truck these days, you need $150,000 to start a food truck business these days. Really let that sink into your mind before you start whining about a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 bill for your first initial cost to try an item that you could end up selling for the next decade or so. So really, that is what the real truth of business is. But nobody teaches this in schools. Nobody has, other business daddies to pass this down to their children. And all these people who are talking about the truth of reselling and trying to glamorize it and sensationalize or whatever are just absolutely full of it. But most of them are part-timers. Some of them still have spouses that still work a full-time job in order to subsidize this stuff. And when you watch video after video, they're still working from home after the X amount of years that they've already been doing this. If you have a legitimate business, it should be able to stand on its own feet. It's not going to collapse under its own weight. It shouldn't require you having to subsidize your basement, your garage, in order to keep this thing going, and then constantly telling yourself, oh, I'm doing so well in business. That's not a business, my friends. You're supposed to do something where there is success retention in your business. That way there's equity. And these things that you put in, this investment that you put in, starts to compound. It starts to snowball over time. And that is the truth about doing business. So the initial upfront fears that most people have, that is exactly the fear that I rely on so that my field of the items that I want to do doesn't just get overly congested immediately, as opposed to everybody's trying to sell Carhartt jackets and Levi's 501s.